You know, our second function is FE, and we mostly think that's other people's feelings. We're so concerned with other people's feelings, we're so affected by other people's feelings, but FE is not just other people's feelings, it's just feelings that we need through, or we get through external stimulation, meaning things we see, things we hear, things we experience, energies we perceive. All of those kind of things are emotions that we get into our head. And you know, for FI users, they can create like an emotional atmosphere out of, you know, just them being in their own world, and they don't need those emotions from outside. But as I said, these things that come from outside, you do have some kind of control over it. The one thing we do mainly is we get out of social interactions. We kind of like stay out of it because we feel that's like the safer way. Because once you're outside, you know, you get people's emotions, and if they're negative, especially towards you, then it does affect you. But we have to find a middle ground, and we find a middle ground through stimulating ourselves and creating the happiness we need for ourselves, which is very important. On the one hand, we are able to live without like this whole emotional atmosphere and so on. I've seen this with a lot of us. We kind of get isolated and we can live like this, but once we really experience some kind of emotion, we get so like addicted to it that we do much more than we should, and we allow people to do with us much more than we should just because we want this so much. So what we have to do is we have to create an emotional atmosphere that we can really maintain in a longer period of time. So we have a basic ground that is you know, really positive without so we don't like really get these like addictive modes, or that we get like this bipolar thing going on where we have no feelings in our lives at all, or we're like full of, you know, emotions, and then we have to like really find ourselves back. And one way to do this is just to create what kind of people you surround yourself with. This is also something you should consider when it comes to work. I'll talk about it later, but having an atmosphere around you that is not that competitive, that is positive, where people really help each other, is very beneficial to your overall health and mental health. And I can, yeah, you get used to you can get used to different situations also, where situations are more stressful, but you'll realize when you've seen both in a short period of time what kind of difference it makes on your mood if you have people around you who are, you know, also eager to have a positive emotional atmosphere. But we get to the career point in a minute. So first, have people around you that are positive. I know that there's this thing we want excitement, because SE is our inferior function, and it's like subconscious, but it's still strong. It's still those things we like, you know, when we like the action behind things. We like excitement, and so we sometimes think that excitement is more important than having peace, but it shouldn't come this way. You should always like really try to maintain your positive your positive mindset to get into first like some kind of like peaceful situation, and then build yourself up from there and create like as much excitement without compromising too much of your of the harmony around you. So the first thing is people. And the second one is, for example, you know, it's also what kind of things you put in your apartment. You know, you can have everything messy, you can have everything clean and tidied up and with pretty colors. It's the clothes you wear, you see yourself with, what you do like with, you know, with your own appearance, and how much like color and positive emotions you put in there. I know this is something we don't normally think is so necessary, because it's not, you know, we're not that in touch with our feelings, but if you do those things, your overall mood will increase, and you'll be less depressed, and you'll think less of things like nobody understands me and I'm all alone and so on, because once you like really are able to fulfill so many of your own needs, you don't have the you don't even think about if people understand you or not. You know, we always think like, oh, nobody understands me. Have you ever thought about why you think about that? You know, you want people to understand you so they can give you what you want. And you feel like if I just make myself clearer, then they will understand what I want. But people cannot give you everything you want. They just can't. And you have to fight to create as much of what you need yourself. And people will see through that how they're supposed to treat you, how they're supposed to be towards you. Don't say like, I'm going to be nice to you, I'm going to give you everything you want, and then please give me what I want. It doesn't work like that. You have to create as much positive emotions and good things in your life, and through that way, the way you treat yourself, people will see how you treat yourself. This is all on an energy level kind of thing. It's not like you really say it, or they really look at you and see, oh, this is how she treats herself, and so I need to, you know, treat her the same way. It's just an energy field that you want to maintain, and you're not willing to compromise. So another thing you can do is through music. I've said more than once, music has saved my life. I'm completely aware of it. It's like one of my healthy addictions, and I'm not giving it up. And you can see that in just simple things. Let's say you sit at the beach and the sun is shining, and you have like this umbrella above your head, and you're like all in chill mode, and then you have a choice. You listen to a song with a text. It's always, for me, it's always the lyrics actually. But it's like a song and your lyrics, and you're like, I'm like the king of the world, and I'm so free, and I have everything I want, and you know, I have so much free time, and things like this. It has nothing to do with how much money you have, where you're at. You can know, just, you know, it's just like the atmosphere of what you create with that music. Or you can listen to a song which says, I'm all by myself. What does it help if I have all these things in the world? Like I have the sun, and I have like, you know, I have a new car, but I'm all by myself, and you know what? Nobody wants to spend time with me. Your brain picks up everything, and it conditions it that way. So if you want to condition your mind, you have to like really feed it with positive thoughts, with positive emotions, with positive music. Like the music I listen to is either emotional, positive, it's always strong, it gives me a feeling of bringing my SE more into consciousness, to realize how much I actually love excitement and so on, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my beliefs. But some beliefs, we have to understand, have to be readjusted. One of those is that I said you have to fight back, even if people, if you feel like, you know, you're much stronger than people and they cannot like really get you down so much. It's a gradual process. You don't understand it, and it doesn't mean that this person won't forgive you, because there's certain things you need to do to keep your sanity. You forgive other people, then expect others to forgive you too, and if they can't, then forgive yourself, because there are things you have to do. And one situation that is very common is for us to think, well, why are people doing this? If you're like in a confrontational situation, why are people doing this? They know that in the long run, I'm going to do this and that, and then it's over. Well, other personality types have what's called what's called nearsighted, not farsighted. So what's really important to them, what's really evident to them, is what's happening right now. For us, what's apparent, what's happening in the long future. We're and this is not just sensors, you know. ENFJs, for example, nearsighted personality. This is all those socionics, how they called, deconometries. I'm not really a fan of really getting like so much into into personality descriptions and how other people function on really specific levels, but I think the next video I'm going to do on those socionics, I don't know the word, I'll look it up. I'll even put like a link below of a little description, because once you know, there are 16 different kinds and ways people react and what kind of energy they feel, and this will help you a lot to realize what other people want and what they cannot give you and what they can't sacrifice and so on, and how to deal with specific people if you're in like difficult situations where you have to decide one-on-one how to deal with that. So this is we're gonna talk about it next time. So self-criticism is always a thing of don't expect that much from yourself. Understand that you expect that much from yourself because you want others to see you as perfect and to give you what you want, but they cannot do that. They're just not able to most of the time. I think probably ESTPs can, INFJs can, but specific types. And you also want to be with other people and understand what they can give you and what you have to give to yourself. So you give things to yourself through controlling your FE and taking more control of your FE, and to understand that you are able to give yourself more stimuli and to control what kind of things you listen to, what kind of people you surround yourself with, and this will help you to get a better grasp of yourself. And then you're not gonna you won't have those situations where you say, oh, I want people to understand me, I feel so alone and so misunderstood. It just doesn't happen. And I've been there. Like I've really gotten into really something where I thought the other person was so good and they didn't understand me and I didn't know what to do and I thought it was my fault. And now I know I had to take control of the situation, and even if the other person is going to think I'm a bad person, I know I have to do that in order to survive. And so I allowed myself to do that. And then I realized, no, there's nobody who needs to be more protected than ourselves. I mean, of course you protect children, you protect weaker people. It's not meant this way, but if you allow people to get so much of your energy without you getting anything back, then you know it's done with. You can't do that. And then you can kind of readjust, but don't allow people to use your energy if they can't give you anything back. It's not good for them because you're enabling them, and it's not good for you because you're just kind of exhausting yourself. So